What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster. And you know, it's funny. I remember a few months back hearing all the Disney Star Wars defenders out there, the few of them that still bother, whining about how Star Wars fans, all those chuds, better not be mean to the kids that are starring in the Skeleton Crew.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Funny thing is, first of all, just a couple days ago, it came out that the media narrative that Star Wars fans were mean to Jake Lloyd, the kid that played Anakin in The Phantom Menace, but that media narrative that Star Wars fans are just horrible people that ruined Jake Lloyd's life, that narrative got blown up when Jake and his mother came out and said that actually Star Wars fans were therapeutic for him. But more than that, all these doofuses on social media were virtue signaling to one another saying, oh, these Star Wars fans better leave the kids from Skeleton Crew alone, and funny enough, it looks like they got their wish.
Where the hell is everybody?
I'm sure that's the question that Disney and Lucasfilm are asking themselves right now, because nobody is watching this show. In fact, the data coming in right now suggests that Skeleton Crew has the lowest viewership of any Star Wars show on Disney+. The Rotten Tomatoes score has dropped a bit in the past few weeks, but 79% is still okay. So that means the people who are actually watching the show seem to think it's decent. So what gives? Well, the answer is that Star Wars The Acolyte appears to have been the death rattle for the franchise. Apathy, the death of IPs, was already kicking in when The Acolyte rolled around. But The Acolyte was one last painful spasm of life, with longtime fans tuning in one last time to see what the Lucasfilm butchers had done to something they once loved. And now, Star Wars fans have done to Disney's version of the franchise what Disney did to the original version of the franchise.
Get the hell out of here.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, but let's talk about Star Wars Skeleton Crew and how nobody is watching the show at all. I'll speak anecdotally for a second here. The show has been out for about a month now. It was out throughout the entire holiday season, and my family is chock full of Star Wars fans. During family get-togethers over the holidays, we used to talk a lot about Star Wars. We used to discuss which of the prequels we enjoyed, which of the original films were the best, which video games we enjoyed playing, and even after the sequels came out, which all of us disliked, we still talked about how much we hated them and what they should have done differently. For a brief window, we talked about The Mandalorian when that came out, and we enjoyed those first couple seasons of that. That got us excited about Star Wars for about a year or two, but this holiday season, not a single person in my very large family talked about Star Wars, not even in passing. And how about you guys? Can you think of anyone who has been talking at all, either positively or negatively, about Skeleton Crew, or just anything Star Wars? The whole franchise has just fallen off the map, and this article here talks about it in some more detail. This is from Cosmic Book News, which I will link in the description. The article says, the Nielsen ratings for the first 2 episodes of The Skeleton Crew are in, revealing that they are worse than The Acolyte, worse than Andor, and seemingly the worst Star Wars ratings on Disney+. Skeleton Crew is also the first Star Wars show not to have its premiere make the Nielsen ratings, which are automatically turned on in your Disney Plus accounts. Samba TV has also again refused to publish numbers. Samba TV has not published ratings for a majority of the recent Star Wars or Marvel shows, likely at the request of Disney, who is an investor in the company, as obviously the ratings are in the gutter. Particularly alarming is that Skeleton Crew premiered its first 2 episodes on the same night, yet still failed to appear in the Nielsen ratings despite having an entire week to qualify. And then here's an image of the week of December 2nd through the 8th for Nielsen, which just dropped, and just like with Luminate, as we've covered previously, Nielsen shows that Skeleton Crew was not in the top 10 streaming shows in the United States. But wait, there's more. Let's read on. The bottom spot on Nielsen's streaming originals list belongs to The Great British Baking Show, with 382 million minutes viewed. Since Skeleton Crew didn't make the list, its total viewership was below 382 million minutes, meaning the average per episode was under 191 million minutes. The Acolyte also premiered its first 2 episodes in one night and made the Nielsen ratings with 488 million minutes viewed, averaging 244 million minutes per episode. Andor premiered with its first 3 episodes and made the list with 624 million minutes, averaging 208 million per episode. Again, the 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew average lower than 191, falling short of both The Acolyte and Andor. And you want to know what makes that even worse? Of the 3 shows, Skeleton Crew has the longest episodes. The first 2 episodes of The Acolyte are 77 minutes in total, versus the Skeleton Crew, whose first 2 episodes are 80 minutes in total. Andor premiered with its first 3 episodes, but those episodes average out to about 38 minutes per, so Skeleton Crew actually has a bit of an advantage here over both of those shows, and yet it still got squashed. Clearly, fans just do not give a shit about this franchise, not any longer. They've pumped out too much garbage. The sequel trilogy was a blatant cash grab. The same with The Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3. The Acolyte was simply a bridge too far. The fan base is no longer divided. We just don't care. The people who hated The Acolyte and watched it just to hate watch, they're out now. They're gone. And the people who loved it because their corporate masters told them to love it, those people are out now too, because Disney had to cancel the show since the numbers were bloody awful. They tailored, that is to say Disney tailored the franchise in order to cater to people who weren't Star Wars' mega fans. They tried to distort Star Wars, to change it, and now there's really nothing being worked on with the franchise on Disney Plus at all. Andor Season 2 comes out in April, and Ahsoka Season 2 is being worked on in the background, but rumor has it that they are going down to 1 Star Wars show per year from this point forward. That cannot be what Disney was imagining when they started developing these shows and using them to try to prop up their Disney Plus streaming service. But too bad. This is what creating divisive content, using writers who hate Star Wars fans, and then blaming the fans for not liking it, this is what happens when you do that. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of Kathleen Kennedy and the rest of the bozos at Disney Lucasfilm into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.